Hi guys and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Cameron and welcome back to today's video. This is going to be the player ratings for Norwich 0, Everton 1. The Blues winning at Carrow Road. Wasn't pretty, but we got the 3 points, we got the job done, and that's all that matters. Starting in goal then, I've gone for Jordan Pickett. They give him a 7. Didn't really have to do an awful lot today. Again, very similar to the Merseyside derby. Didn't have a lot to deal with, but he tipped a couple of chances over the bar. He tipped one onto the post as well. So he done really well again. Wasn't threatened much in the game, but he done just enough. So I've gone for a 7 for Jordan Pickford. Luca Dean at left back then, I've gone for a 7 for Luca Dean. Again, another decent, solid defensive performance. Didn't really get as forward as I would like him to. Obviously got an assist as well, which is good, which bumps his mark up a little bit. So I've given Luca Dean a 7. Centre back then, Mason Holgate, have given him an 8. An absolutely fantastic performance by Mason Holgate once again. You can see that this lad is turning into a proper leader. He's absolutely fantastic all over the park today. There was a period where he stepped into the midfield. He played the through ball for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, which was just unfortunate that Dom didn't get to it, but a really solid performance by Mason Holgate today. So I've gone for the 8. Michael Keane then next to him, I've gone for 8.5 for Michael Keane. Again, very similarly to Mason Holgate. Really strong, solid performance defensively by Michael Keane. Dealt with everything they had to. Every ball that came into me headed out. Good with his feet, pushed the ball out, pushed the team forward, and then of course got that winning goal as well. So we get a little 0.5 on top of Mason's. But again, defensively, very similarly to Mason Holgate, a fantastic performance today by Michael Keane. Really impressed with him. Again, 2 games on the run now where he's put 2 real decent performances in. Right back then, Seamus Coleman, I've gone for a 7. Very similar performance to Luca Dean on the other side of the pitch. Very solid defensively, used his body well, broke forward. You can see he's sort of tired towards the end, but that's to be expected. You know, he's played 2 games in the space of 48 hours or 72 hours or whatever it is. So you'd expect that. But again, another solid defensive performance. Didn't get beaten many a times on that side of the pitch. Used his body well, used his strength, used his ability as well on the ball. So a very good performance by Seamus Coleman. Into the midfield then, Alexei Voroby, I've gone for a 9 for Alexei Voroby, and he gets my man of the match today. Just tips it above Michael Keane. Some people might argue with that, some people might disagree with that, because Michael Keane obviously was the goal scorer and ultimately won us the game, but I thought Alexei Voroby was absolutely fantastic today. He's such an improvement on the performance from Sunday. He was picking the ball up, he was using his body, he was breaking forward, he seemed confident, he seemed like he wanted the ball at his feet, he seemed like he wanted to move forward, he wanted to break with the team, he wanted to play the balls into Dominic Calvert-Lewin, put some really good crosses into the box as well. One where if Richarlison had attacked it a little bit better, he'd have been on the back post and he'd have had a good opportunity to score. But I thought Alexei Voroby was fantastic today, especially when you compared it to his performance against Liverpool a couple of days ago. Real improvement. And like I said in the instant match reaction, even to the last sort of 5-10 minutes, he was breaking forward, he was using his energy, he was using his pace, he was beating players. His touch was really good as well. So he gets my man of the match with a 9. Tom Davies, who was next to him for the first 45 minutes, I've given a 5. Really not impressed with Tom Davies. Taken off at half-time, of course, for Gylfi Sigurdsson. Wasn't a great performance whatsoever from Tom. He could never get into the game. He was strolling around. He didn't get hold of the ball an awful lot. He wasn't putting himself about. He didn't really have any energy. I thought it was a really poor performance by Tom today. And I hope we see more of him, and I hope we see better from him, because we know he can perform better than that. It was disappointing to see that from him today. Andre Gomez next to him, have gone for a 7. He was getting the same, a 5 from that first half. He didn't impress me whatsoever. He really didn't. Again, he was sluggish. He was on the ball. He wasn't very good. He was giving balls away. He wasn't getting on top of the play. He wasn't using his energy. But in the second half, I think he upped his game. I really did think he upped his game. And Tom Davies might have upped his game if he'd still been on the pitch. But ultimately, Carlo Ancelotti took that decision. But I think Andre Gomez upped his game in the second half. You could see he started to use his body a little bit more. He was breaking forward. His passing was a little bit better. He was using more energy. He worked well alongside sort of Gylfi Sigurdsson when Gylfi come on with the fresh leg. So I've gone for a 7 for Andre Gomez. Bernard, I've gone for a 5. Again, very similarly to Tom Davies, only he had more time on the pitch. I just think he was poor today. He didn't do enough for me. Didn't break forward enough. He done okay tracking back and defensively. He won the ball back a couple of times in important areas for us, but realistically, that's not his job. Number 1 for Bernard should be breaking forward, taking men on, getting in the right position, getting in the box. I think there was a couple of times where you're sort of sitting there going, go on, take him on, do a couple of step overs, get past them, and he sort of just put the ball in the box first time. And they were decent crosses, don't get me wrong, but you'd expect more. You want more from a player with that skill and that capability, and I just don't think he produced it today. So I've gone for a 5 for Bernard. Dominic Calvert-Lewin then up top, I've gone for 8 for Dom again. Said in the instant match reaction, didn't score, didn't get an assist, but Dominic Calvert-Lewin doesn't need to do that to have an absolutely fantastic game. Again, his work rate is just beyond most players I've ever seen in an Everton shirt. He works his absolute bollocks off from minute 1 to minute 90. He's running around, he's using his body, he's using his energy, he's winning headers, he's getting up, he's bringing the ball down. His touch was fantastic. He's using his physicality. I thought he was unbelievable again today. I've gone for an 8 for Dom. Richarlison next to him, I've gone for a 7 for Richie. Very similarly, work rate really, really good. Got himself into a couple of decent positions. Probably didn't get him, it wasn't as physical as Dominic Calvert-Lewin's performance was, which is why I've marked him differently, but still a very good performance by Richarlison despite the fact that he wasn't on the score sheet. Substitutes then, I've gone for a 6 for Anthony Gordon. Again, didn't really have an awful lot to do, didn't do much when he come on, to be fair, but again, wasn't really much for him to do. He just had to hold the ball up and move forward. Simple one for me. Gone for a 7 for Gylfi Sigurdsson. Done really, really well again when he come on, very similarly to the Liverpool game. Come on, held the ball up, got himself about, got himself in the face of Norwich players, defended well, put a couple of good tackles in as well, so I've gone for a 7 for Gylfi Sigurdsson. Moise Kean, I've gone for a 6. He looked lively in the first 5 minutes of him coming on. Obviously, he put that tackle in, which was a little bit, but he looked a little bit lively, and then he sort of tired quickly for me, which is a little bit worrying and probably why we haven't seen him start either of the last 2 games, because he does tire himself out very quickly, which needs addressing. But he didn't really do much. He didn't have an awful lot to do. Made a bit of a bad tackle, and then again, like I said in the instant match reaction, he made me sort of, my arse drop a little bit when he's doing step overs on the edge of our box and he's trying to take every Norwich player on rather than just hitting it long when we're 1-0 up with 2 minutes to go. And then Carlo Ancelotti, then I've gone for an 8 for Carlo Ancelotti. Listen, ultimately his job was to set out the team to go out there and win the game of football, and that's what we done. It wasn't pretty at best of times, but ultimately, what can we expect? We've just come back from 3 months out. Our first game back was against, the best team in the league, who are soon to be champions. Could we expect us to go out and blather Norwich 5 or 6-0, especially with the same team that started only 3 days ago? I don't know. Maybe that expectation was a little bit too high. Ultimately, we won the game in the end, and that's all we needed to do, and a lot of that is down to Carlo Ancelotti and the players. So I've gone for the 8 for Carlo Ancelotti today. Let me know your thoughts on the player ratings then in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts on the game as well. Please do leave this video a like if you have enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. We'll be live with the live game review tomorrow at 5:15, so really, really would appreciate if you join us there. Big thanks for watching. Leave a like if you've enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you soon on the Mighty Blues.